first I would say don't unlearn anything. Whatever you've learned, you have it, and you have to come as you are. And because there's a place for everybody, and every knowledge and every bit of experience counts. The biggest challenge, the biggest thing that you should prepare for is that these are small companies. They're moving very fast, and they're moving very fast because they have to, right? It's not because they're immature or impatient. It's that because if they don't move into a space, somebody else will move there first, and they have to be there. So there is an entrepreneurial, there's a almost aggressive sometimes way of thinking about innovation. They're there to create something new, to be the first ones to do something, and they want to do it right away. And the pressure to be able to do it is quite important. And having the sense, the presence, and building the trust with the leadership team, the executive leadership team in the business, that they listen to you, that they understand the risks, and most importantly, from a compliance perspective, that they understand that they can do whatever they want. Right? I'm from a compliance, I'm not going to tell them, unless it's something that is illegal, bluntly illegal, I'm not going to say, no, you cannot do that. My role is to make sure that they understand the risks that they're taking when they're doing that, which is a much different approach from a compliance in a traditional bank or a traditional financial services, where the compliance organization has more of a policing role, more of an approval role, where they become more bureaucratic. Here, we need to be part of the business. We need to be partnering with the business from an independent point, because we have to remain independent as a compliance organization, but partnering with them to make it succeed, because if the business succeeds, it succeeds for all of us. Well, what happens, and it's a great thing about compliance as well in the FinTech industry, at least in my experience, is that because it's a new thing, we tend to be very small teams, and they're very small teams, and that are placed very high within the organization. So you, by default, you have by law, you have to have access at my level to the board of directors, which means that then my team is interacting with the heads of product, is interacting with the head of risk, is at that level. We don't go farther down than that, because they are the ones that need to set the tone. So I'll start with the positive, right? What are the things that you can really, that I was able to leverage to come into a smaller organization, to a more entrepreneurial organization? The first one is the positive attitude. You have to always think about it positively, right? It's very easy to look at the challenges, to look at the difficulties ahead, and in an environment where it's moving fast, you have to leverage and you have to celebrate every success, and you have to be positive, can do. So that's number one. Number two, I think it's the social attitude, be able to relate. A bigger company, you have a much more bureaucracy. You may work with people for years that you never met, only over the phone, over the email. That doesn't happen in a smaller company, an entrepreneurial company. Everything is a lot more personal, and you build those personal relationships, and building them quickly and building that trust is very important to get the team to really click and to move ahead. And lastly, the thing that I had to adapt most in a smaller, in this environment, is the resources, right? It's to be able to count with billion-dollar companies behind you, with big budgets, where things are easy and things are established, and there is already a policy for everything, and there's a way to do everything. To say, I want to do this, and then that's never been done. So you have to create the path. You have to scrap the resources to create something new, especially in a compliance group where you're a cost center. We're not a revenue generating. So any incremental spend, any incremental, that has to be well justified, and it has to be maximized from a productivity perspective. So that's the biggest change, but it's a welcome change, because at the end of the day, it's not what you have, it's what you do with what you have.